What was that?
Maddie says I smell like BO and hot dogs. I think you still missed it.
Nope.
Oh, you got it! Yay! Kill that dadgum mosquito.
Winning. Tiger blood.
Family chant. No! I really hope this string doesn't break. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not very smart. They strings.
Yesterday is gone, forget about tomorrow and the ceilings you see right through. Find the moment and make it. Write your headline and raise it to the sky. No one else can create it. Take your banner and raise it to the sky.
Last week on Sailing Dauntless, we finished up the solar array and got it mounted on the back of the boat. This week we'll be putting these new modules in the boat, making some progress on our wiring, and getting rid of the old lead-acid batteries.
What is happening right now?
Alright, so today, I'm pulling the lead-acid batteries out of the battery well. And I'm going to put one or two up on the shelf up here so that we can continue to have 12 volt while I put all of the new 48 volt and step-down transformers in. But I can't start moving stuff around until these are out of the way. Alright, so I think these batteries are 168, 186, something like that. Pounds apiece. But they're sealed lead acid. So in theory, you can't spill it. This battery's going to come all the way up to here. Ready? By the way, it's heavy. 1, 2, 3. Please.
2 seconds.
1, 2, 3. Over here. We get all those screws out of there. So I'm going to wire these up and then transfer them over, and then I'll come back and I'll holler for you.
Okay.
So we have to lift the rest of these out of here and take them outside.
Okay.
Sweet.
Okay.
Alright, these batteries are heavy, so I'm going to try to pick up half, and the girls are going to pick up the other half, and they have to carry them out.
Oh boy. Alright, are you ready? Yep. I really hope this string doesn't break. It's fine.
Yeah, it's not very smart. They strings.
So Ty is down here feverishly working on this electrical. Getting everything switched over. We got our AGM batteries pulled out, and right now the house is working off of these two batteries. The other two, Maddie and I hauled up into the cockpit. And this is the battery storage compartment.
So there's actually a method to this madness down here.
It looks like a mess, but I know there is a method.
All of these were bolted down to one of these posts on either side with these goofy extensions screwed on with stacks and stacks and stacks of ground wires. So we took it all of this off and we're moving everything to a bus bar, and that is we're cleaning everything up, putting all new connections on. Anything that has any level of corrosion, we're taking care of. And
those wires are all black wires, which means they are all
ground wires.
Ground wires.
And it's extremely important. One of the #1 problems in DC systems where you get something that doesn't work or you have intermittent, it's bad grounds. So all new bus bars, all new connections, all new fittings, anti-corrosion grease inside of everything, heat shrink tubing to make sure that we have nice clean grounds to everything.
And that bus bar looks like it is a solid piece of something. What is that, Ty?
It's a solid piece of copper that's tinned. So just like,
which is why it doesn't look
right. And that
coppery colored. It looks aluminum colored almost, but it's not. It's tinned.
And they weigh about 2 pounds a piece, and they're about $120 each.
Yeehaw!
But these will both. This is our ground, and this will be our 48 volt positive bus bar for all of our incoming charging, solar chargers, and power that will come in from shore power to be able to feed everything off of the AC or the inverter charger that we have. So big bus bars will handle the large volume, and then we've got a small 12 volts that handles a couple hundred amps, and this will be for our 12 volt system. So all of both systems, 12 volt, 120 volt, and 48 volt, all will share the same grounds, just like in a house and boat and a car and the whole 9 yards. Everything, the grounds will all be shared. However, we're gonna have 2 distinct DC positive systems. One is a 48 volt, which is what our batteries, our Tesla batteries run on in series, and feed our massive inverter charger that's 15,000 watts. And then the small bus bar will be for our smaller loads like, our winch and our windlass and lights and heads and bilge pumps and all of that. Little by little. So I'm hoping to get the batteries in here today once all of these wires are out of the way. And we'll start hefting all those Tesla battery packs down in here in the rack that we built that's upstairs.
What you doing?
Struggling.
Why are you taking the door frame off?
Because my battery rack doesn't fit through the damn door.
You could disassemble it and reassemble it inside.
I could, but I think it's easier to take the door apart.
I think it'd be easier to take a couple screws out.
It's not a couple, it's like 18, and then it has to perfectly line back up again, so it's more difficult than you think.
The tie. The tie.
Wow, that just happened.
Yeah.
It's getting deep in here. There we go. Bob's your uncle.
In the hole?
Yeah.
The hole.
That's what she said.
Oh my God, Sydney. I'm pretty sure I did it close enough to the goodest way, right way, that I don't need to do it again.
Well, as long as you're pretty sure.
It's gonna be a little tight down here.
So what are you doing?
Alright, so I'm standing inside the battery rack that is in here, bolted in and supported, and we are going to put 10 of these modules inside this rack. And we got to do 2 at a time. Put 2 in, put a grounding strap, then 2, and so on and so forth as we go down. So here we go. And these things are heavy.
They're not as heavy as the AGMs, though.
No, they're not. But at the end of the day, they just seem to feel so much heavier. Alright.
Look at that.
Isn't that fancy? Your daddy's got skills.
Well, Mr. Skills, when are you predicting I'm gonna have a bed?
When I'm done with the batteries.
Tell me what your highs and lows are for this week.
I got a bed.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't that fancy? So,
after realizing that our battery straps didn't make it on our order, and not wanting to wait any longer to get these batteries in and Madison in this room, we decided to make our own. So what you're seeing me do here is cut down this 1.5-inch copper bar and drilling out the mount bolt holes so that it'll line up with the new batteries.
So I have to admit, we're not very good about keeping up on the video because we just take the project and the task at hand and just move with it. And so sadly, we have batteries that are being installed.
yes.
There are 5 in the compartment already. And I just now thought to pick up the camera because I've been working on
Ocean Air screens.
the Ocean Air screens.
All right. So we have a rule in the house. There's no shoes.
No
But standing on the edge of plywood like this while you're huffing around 50, 60-pound batteries, and I'm already tubby enough as it is.
I'm toughening you up. That's what I'm doing.
That must be it. So these have to go together in a funky pattern because of this really tight rack that I built. I can't get a ratchet on the back side. So we have to put them in a funky order. So we're going to put these 4 in next. So this one goes in first. Then this one goes in second. And through the magic of television, I'm sure Sydney will fast forward the removal and installation of bolts as to not bore you.
So if you ever wondered what Tesla batteries looked like, this
This is it.
is it.
They built the Model S.
So there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then underneath the ones that Ty is working on are 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. There are 14 modules in this pack that we purchased. However,
That was a 75 kilowatt car.
yes, a 75 kW car. However, we are only going to put 10 modules in. I know that sounds
Only
ridiculous. Only 10 modules.
And for you battery geeks out there, only 10 means at 24 volt, each of these is 233 amp hours, which is 466 amp hours at 12 volt, at about 5.3 kilowatt. So we are putting in 5.3 kilowatt times 10 at 24 volt. And then, not only that, we're taking them and running them in series, which means you put 2 batteries side by side and match their positive and negatives together, and then you run all of them in a stack in parallel. So we have a 48 volt system that runs a 15,000 watt inverter for all kinds of fun stuff, like ice makers and induction cooktops and steam ovens and washers and dryers and curling irons
And air conditioning.
and 5 air conditioners, because we will be sailing without compromise here. As soon as we can figure out how to get everything in. So this one's in. This one is in. Now, with the negative and positive on here.
Oh, hold on, point to those again because I was slow.
Negative and positive. Yeah, this is the fun part. Did I mention they were heavy?
Oh boy, here we go. Yee! Oh, that's so exciting.
There you go. So,
Look at pretty batteries.
look at all of that fun jazz.
Oh my goodness, that is so pretty.
And now you put them in out of order, and they all bolt together. We were originally going to do 14 modules. I think that 75 kilowatts might be a little excessive. Besides,
plus
this is the
space.
battery space.
Yeah.
And we are sacrificing the drawer. There's a big drawer. Normally the batteries sit down about this, the drawer comes in about this height. So the space that's all the way down at the bottom is where the batteries are at. So normally the tops of the old batteries only came to here. Anything up to 24 volts, you can actually touch 24 volts. And unless you direct short it, which of course creates a tremendous amount of heat and will weld a wrench or something, this is very, very dangerous when you're working in here, which is why I'm using short wrenches, because they don't reach between both ends. Anyway, 24 volts you can touch. 48 volts, if I were to touch here and here, that gets your attention. And I always knew that you could touch up to 24 volt and anything above that will shock you. I didn't remember that until about 30 minutes ago. when I touched both ends, and I was like, whoa! So 48 volts to me feels like getting shocked with like 120, like an outlet.
Oh, fun.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, get your attention. So, be careful. And even 12 volts, I mean, there's these giant wires aren't there for show. They do this. They carry a lot of amperage.
Only 2 more to go?
There's space for 4, but we're only going to do 2 more. 4 more, I should say. For all 14 modules, we paid with freight. The total came to about $16,000 for all 14 modules. You can buy individual modules for if you just wanted one, and there's a lot of people that will put one of these in an RV. And depending on your equipment, it could be there could be plenty. And considering that you have 233 amps at 24 volt, that's a lot of power. And that's equivalent to, this battery is an equivalent to 4 12 volt Battleborns at 100 amp hours. And I mean, that's $4,000 worth of batteries in something that you can pick up for about 12 or 1300 bucks plus about $100 in freight if you're just buying one. 46.87. 46.8. 46.8. 46.83. So we're within, oh gosh, 0.05 of a volt. That's good enough. All right, guys, this little box right here from EVTV is a BMS Monitor and Controller. We are using all of the BMS boards that Tesla installed in the batteries from the factory. This box, along with a control that I'll show you in a little bit, monitors all of the data coming out from temperature, voltage, every parameter that they have. It feeds it into this box, which runs off of some circuitry on the inside, and if there's any issues in the battery anywhere, this is a big contactor and shuts off all of the power. Our Victron inverter charger also shut down the entire system if anything has an issue. However, it doesn't have the ability to monitor the individual batteries. So these folks, like I said at EVTV, have come up with this control device, which you hook up the BMS's through this connection right here. This connection jumpers to every single one of these green circuit boards that you see in here. You could probably put an aftermarket controller on. I'm not comfortable with that. I would rather use the technology that Tesla came up with and just take their lead to monitor and control the batteries that we're putting in our boat.
So after all that, here's the final results. Rack of 10 batteries wired up with copper bus bar and tie bars in the middle, and our new BMS control contactor mounted up with the big orange cable.
2, 3. I'll go first. Okay.
Thank you, ladies.
Yep.
Now that the new batteries are installed and the lead acid is out, come join us next week where we talk about our new inverter charger, how to build a DC to DC converter to take you from 48 to 12 volts, and why we changed wiring in the boat.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. If you'd like to support us, you can join the crew and become a member of our Patreon. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment down below. We'd love to hear what you guys think about this video and what you'd like to see in the future.
No one else can